Hello, I'm Doug McKenzie and welcome to the Paytech Show. Today we're asking the question, will the payment cards still be relevant in 2020 and beyond? Back with us again to talk about the evolution and continued innovation of card tech is Mikko Kanoken from Giesecke and Devront, otherwise known as G&D. We also get insight from Mastercard's Eduoardo Volta, who has his finger on the pulse when it comes to innovation in card tech. A vast change in technology that's recently come through is the changing shape of card payments and card technology. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
In card technology, there's quite a bit happening right now. We are addressing markets with various different materials, for instance. We are having projects going on metal cards. We've launched a couple now and more in the pipeline. We're integrating further electronic components into the card, for instance, biometric sensors for added security and convenience at the point of sale. You can put a loudspeaker in the card if you like. There are plenty of possibilities with technology getting miniaturized. On the other hand, we're also working on sustainable materials like wood or cornstarch. So we as part of there's a Greener Cards initiative, we want to of course take sustainability. It's our responsibility to work for less plastic also in the environment. The other thing is, where does card tech then start and stop? Obviously we also work on the let's say bolt-on services on top of this issuance process. So if you want to digitize the experience when you account opening, KYC, communication with the cardholder, with whether it's SMS, WhatsApp, Messenger, email, to keep him informed about where he is in the process and when he can expect the card to land in the mailbox.
So, quite a broad question now. How has card technology evolved over the last couple of years?
It is a broad question, but I think we can narrow it down. So I mentioned before, the card technology has not evolved for many years. We've seen some slight evolution, but actually with the rise of technology and the digital, card technology has leaped forward very quickly in the last 2-3 years. And when you think about it, it's all really around API services. So it's much easier now with the use of the Internet of Things and digital to draw on API from partners to provide more comprehensive solution. And also it's really the digitalization of the card services. So now card payments is not anymore about just a piece of plastic and pay with a piece of plastic, but it's about adding that piece of plastic to a digital wallet, provisioning into a digital wallet, and actually being able to pay through your mobile phone. And the ability to have these real-time alerts and real-time payments information that are coming to you through your mobile phone. So actually the evolution has been the introduction of digital and leveraging this digital platform to provide the services to the customer.
If it's not only the physical card and the issuance experience, we want to offer the consumer the experience of instantaneously having a digital card in their mobile while waiting for the physical to arrive, or getting secure remote commerce going, tokenizing cards which you've had on file so far. So it really is, it's a very wide spectrum of, the card tech is difficult to, segment from, this is where it starts, this is where it stops. But yes, we address that spectrum pretty much from A to Z.
Next, we discuss the importance of collaboration in an ever-changing industry.
Partnership and collaboration is key to our innovation strategy. When you look just at the amount of partnership we do in Europe with digital banks, we've doubled this across in the last couple of years. So we work with virtually every single digital banks in Europe, and especially in the UK, which is the area I look after, and we see them as a key a channel for us to bring innovation into the consumer space, and working with them stimulates us to do things differently, to look at a different type of products and services that we can bring to market. So partnership with those companies is vital for us to continue innovating.
I used to work in Mastercard before joining G&D, so there are some very long-standing, private, close relationships to people there in various different functions. But on the other hand, we're working on various projects together, whether it's then biometrics or digital payments and mobile, moving into e-commerce. I think there is very high mutual respect for the expertise that each one brings to the industry, and we exchange regularly on all current topics, and we do our best to, of course, to also contribute to Mastercard to their new product propositions or technology standards, in order to also make sure that whatever it is that they come up with is actually something that the industry can also supply. So we work closely, and this is for sure, it's a win-win what we do together.
The innovation is in our DNA. So somebody consider Mastercard the oldest fintech. So we started over 50 years ago innovating in the car space, coming up with new ideas. And actually, when it comes to innovating, I think we take different channels. I think there are different ways in which we innovate. Obviously, we innovate within, so we encourage our employees to come up with ideas of innovation. We've got initiative throughout the year to bring to life some of the innovation that the employee bring to the table. We innovate through partnership, so partnership is key for us to innovate. So we work with the whole ecosystem to bring new solutions to the market. Partnership is my word. We work with the digital banks everywhere in the world to really bring new solutions to the customer. And then obviously it would be remiss of me to not to talk about our own digital innovation labs, which is StarPath, which is our incubator for new companies that we bring into the payment services, and we help grow through introduction in the industry and through helping them with their idea and develop a new solution in the market. So I think in summary, we innovate all the time, constantly, but we just do it in many, many different ways.
Finally, we get our interviewees' plans and expectations for the future. Now, Europe has embraced chip and pin technology over the last couple of years. As we've mentioned, card technology is changing dramatically. Where do you see that future going, and how are G&D really going to be able to help your customers fulfill those customer wishes?
Well, chip and pin, indeed, it's an excellent foundation as well for going forward. I think what's absolutely and what is going on right now is is moving towards tokenization. So banks being able to issue tokens, meaning the actual account number moved into something which is not retraceable to that account number. These tokens can then be, placed in various different physical devices, or they can be used for e-commerce. I think this is the next one, which is going to change the industry really dramatically. G&D is one of the key players in terms of tokenization. We are able to support both the issuing and also the merchant side, and that will allow banks to again address the consumers and the user experience that the consumers have in making payments tremendously.
Brilliant. Now, we've talked about how some of the institutions might be struggling to maintain that pace of change, especially when it comes to payment technology. But obviously for some of your partners, they've actually benefited greatly. Can you tell us about how G&D has helped a lot of institutions digitize, but also improve their card payment offerings?
Well, we have, and this is of course there are very different paces to this between markets as well. We have markets where we've done the full 9 yards on for instance on tokenization, that we can support our customers to connect to all of the different payment schemes token vaults and through one integration actually address all of the payment brands that they have in their portfolio. On the physical cards, I think one really exciting thing that's going on in China is that we've joined forces with a number of banks, and we actually sell on behalf of the banks innovative card bodies, different form factors on the web, where customers can actually configure the cards themselves. So cardholders can select how my card is going to look like, and it's not limited to something like a picture card where you can upload your own image, but you can actually select between components and finishing touch with the 3D printing on the card. This is something which is kind of brand new, and it's I think it shows promising results, and we should try and do that elsewhere.
In your opinion, are physical cards still relevant?
Yes, they are definitely relevant. Physical cards are a part of our payment option, and actually the digitalization of the card business, while on growing and taking a more important part of our payment world, is still a small percentage of the overall payments. When you look at globally, we're 44% of payment are actually going through card, and we expect that by 2022 we'll have 60% of payment going through card, with some part of it going digital. So cards are still very relevant for our strategy. And not only that, but when you look at the geographic spread and the demographic spread of the population, cards are still probably even a more relevant part for certain areas. So London versus outside of London. London digital payments are very prevalent. Outside of London, probably cards are still playing a major part. But also when you look at it from a demographic/financial inclusion perspective, not everybody has got a smartphone and can make digital payments. So card is still a very secure, fast and efficient way of making payments.
How can physical cards complement and maybe help out digital and mobile technologies going forward?
Complement is exactly the right word to use. I think card payments and digital payment, mobile payments will go hand in hand. And the digital payment will grow and will provide an alternative option to make payments. But in the short to medium term, I don't think they will completely erase cards. And also, let's not forget that when you look at it from a payment perspective, while we're not just talking about physical cards, so mobile payments are still relying on the card technology in the background, which is what Mastercard does as a network, to ensure that those payments go through. So the use of an account to make payment is what the card payment is. We are also seeing option in the market now, for example, with the launch of the Apple Card with Mastercard, which is simply a digital first card. So it's still a card, but it's digital first. So it comes first as a provision in the mobile wallet, as plastic as an option, as a complement. So we're going to see more of these coming into the market, but cards will still be a part of the payment process. We are seeing the new solution coming to market, for example, the Apple Card with Mastercard, which is obviously still based on a card payment, but it's just digital first. So the provision on the wallet, on the Apple Wallet, comes first, and the physical card comes as a complement to it. So this is a typical example of some of the solutions that are on the rise, but where digital is prevalent, but the card is still very much a part of the payment process.
What's next for G&D in this incredibly digital, fast-moving, industry?
Well, again, we've been here for 160 years and some. So transformation is something that we are strong at, I'd like to say. We've reinvented ourselves several times over and gone into new businesses, and obviously keep on doing that going forward. What I've seen in the past couple of years in the company, we're going through a transformation in terms of ways of work. We're working with hackathons, and we're going through the design processes, fully agile, the whole jargon, if you like. But I think it's important because it's, again, we want to reach out, we want to innovate together with the customers, not work out of the ivory tower, but to be tackle this challenge jointly with the customers, with our partners, and make sure that their outcome is right. Because we're innovators, we're fighters, we're there to stay.
Thanks for joining us again on the Paytech Show, and make sure to check out the rest of the series on www.fintech.finance. Till next time.